Hi everyone, Stepan here. Finally a game. I lost the last game and the one before that, and my mouse is slippery. I want to get on a winning streak. Okay, the exchange Caracan. Let's win this game. Come on, come on. Last game I'd... what's wrong with my mouse? Come on. Last game I'd experimented with a Benoni setup I didn't know well. This game I'm gonna try to do better. Okay, queen d7 instead of queen c8. Okay, let's go bishop d6. Queen takes b7 isn't a good move because I can play rook b8 and win the b2 pawn. My opponent's playing instantly. It seems... okay, let's go rook b8 now. Why is my opponent playing instantly? a5? a5. Sorry, a4. Okay. For now, I'm just gonna go rook c8. I don't want to do anything crazy. Okay, still plays instantly. Good. I don't know why, but okay. My opponent is just blitzing out moves. Okay, I don't want to follow my opponent's pace because that's hard. So let's see what we can do here. All of this seems fairly standard. I don't think my opponent has made any mistakes so far. I feel like bishop g6 is a good move, but then again, it may be running into rook e3, rook h3. Okay, I'm gonna go bishop g6. I feel unsafe. Something's wrong with my mouse. At least now, if... Okay, now I can go b5. b5 takes, knight b3. b5, b4 takes. Okay, for the moment b5 loses a pawn because of takes and knight c6 and rook a7, but then... Yeah, okay, I'm playing b5. It seems good to me. If we're gonna trade b2 for a7, that seems like a good trade-off. And if I can play b4, of course, I'll have a very pleasant advantage. Okay. Okay, Now my opponent wants to go knight b3 and knight c5, so I think it's time to play a5 and break this down. Let's just make sure rook knight c6 doesn't work. So a5, knight c6, queen c6, rook a5, ba5, queen c3 seems to work. If my opponent plays queen to e2, I could go rook b8, and that seems okay. Yeah, that seems okay. I could also go queen b8. Okay, a5 seems... I don't know what's wrong with my mouse. a5 seems okay. Takes immediately. What's going on? Okay. If knight takes, there may be queen a4. So I'm gonna take with the rook if my mouse starts working. Okay, I'm gonna call this a successful minority attack because there's a weakness on c3. I think my opponent may have misplayed the opening. Or sorry, the early middle game on 17 minutes. What's going on? Okay. My opponent wants to go c4. But it really shouldn't work because of knight d4. But then there's knight b3. So if my opponent starts knight b3, what am I gonna do? Okay, my opponent wants to go knight b3, knight c5. So knight b3 cannot come with tempo. So I'm gonna go rook a2 to make sure it's not a tempo, so that on knight b3 I can go knight e4. On queen b3 I have rook ca8. Or, excuse me, I can just take the knight on d2. I don't think my rook is trapped. It's key that knight b3 doesn't come with tempo. I think. Okay, my opponent wants to play c4. So let's prevent that. Knight a5, knight c4. That seems pleasant. I don't think I'm hanging anything. Oh, am I hanging knight g5? Maybe I am. Knight g5 followed by queen f3, queen h3, and queen h7. But I still have a knight on f6, so I feel like that should be okay. Okay. Still plays instantly. So, queen a3 seems good to me. Queen a3. Queen a3, yeah, why not? Just defending the rook. Okay, queen a3 seems to work. I'm slightly worried about queen b1. But I think I can take on a1. Okay, take what? Why is my opponent playing so quickly? Yeah, I'm gonna say that this doesn't work. Wants to take on f7. I mean, I could just defend with rook c7, although I'm not sure I have to. So if rook c3, knight f7, rook c2, what does my opponent do? Rook c3, knight, some knight to f7, rook c2, threatening rook g2. Where is the defense? Maybe queen f3? I really don't want to defend the f7 pawn. Rook c3, knight ef7, let's say. Rook c2, queen f3. If I go rook c7, what's my follow-up? Because the queen's coming to f3 anyway. No, I'm just gonna take. Let's embrace the complications. Let's see what my opponent has planned. So I was thinking queen b3 when I was looking at rook e2. I don't really see a viable alternative, so let's do that. And then on queen b3, knight f7, knight d4 seems fine. Sorry, Lucia just came in from the shop. If you can hear groceries being put away. Okay, So if I go queen b4, walking into a self pin, what can my opponent do? Queen b4 seems interesting. Also queen a3 seems very nice. On queen a3, my opponent probably just goes queen h4. But I have enough, I feel. Queen a3, I should have enough. Queen a3, queen h4. Rook c1, king f2. Wait a minute. Queen a3, queen h4. Rook c1, king f2. Oh, queen a1 seems interesting. And then queen b4. On queen b4, what does my opponent do? There is rook d2. There's queen f2. There's queen d2. No, I'm playing queen a3. Because this threatens rook c1. I really think my opponent plays queen h4. I don't see an alternative. Oh, and I will have queen a1 check, king f2, rook c1, threatening queen takes d4. Can I go knight c4? Knight c4, if knight takes, then knight g4 would lead to a disaster for my opponent. Or takes, knight g4. If knight f7, I go knight g4, queen h4, rook c1 leads to mate. Ooh, knight c4 is very tempting. Is there anything better? Rook c1, rook e1, takes, queen takes. Rook c1, rook e1, queen a1, rook c1, queen c1. Doesn't lead to much. It's going to be a queen trade, and then my pawn is hanging on f7 in the end. So let's try knight c4. It seems incredibly dangerous for my opponent. The idea is to weaken the g4 square. Oh, takes on f7? That doesn't work. That cannot work. Okay, knight g4. Isn't that checkmate? Knight g4, the queen has to move. And then rook c1. Yeah. Okay, knight g4. Okay, this is it. That's the end of the game. Rook c1, rook e1, queen e3 check, game over. Yeah, okay. Yes, I calculated something correctly. Nice. On king f1, of course, there's knight d2 check. Okay, nice. Okay, my opponent played quickly, but it didn't work. Okay, finally a victory. Yes. Okay, let's analyze. If you're like me and you think practicing against the engine is boring because it either crushes you or plays like an idiot, try playing against Noctie. Noctie is a human-like AI that's going to adapt to your strength, is going to play like a human, try to trick you like a human, and challenge you on your own level. Samuel, the creator and owner of Noctie, and I have come up with a promotion for this World Championship. You probably heard me talk about Noctie before, but I actually think it's a great way to study, and it makes not having a fanatic chess player next to you, well, less harmful to your chess training, and you can basically train as if you were training against a human. So we decided to do something for the first 10 people who sign up for Noctie with the code Hanging Pawns are gonna get personalized training routines, which I'm going to make. So I'm going to create a 1-month training schedule based on your abilities, based on your problems, based on what you and I think you should be studying. And yeah, if you would like me to do that, check out Noctie. Of course, you don't have to go for premium. It's a great product, even with the basic features. But the first 10 people who do decide to use the code Hanging Pawns are going to get training routines made by me. So if you do sign up, just email samuel@noctie.ai and he will know that you signed up and he will inform me. Okay, let's get back to the game. My opponent played incredibly quickly. So I think we can start. All of this is still fine. Queen d6, castles, rook fe1. Rook ab8 is what I usually play. a4, I don't know a4. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna turn on the engine here. Okay, so fine. Okay, apparently f4 is a new move. Takes. b5 is correct, yes. Takes, b4 is correct, a5 is correct. I should have taken with the knight. Isn't there queen a4? Oh, I just go rook cb8. Yeah, okay. Takes. Yes, rook a2, best move. I should have gone knight e4. I was afraid on knight e4 that there is c4. Isn't there c4? Takes. Well, knight takes, I guess. Oh, no. He can take with the pawn. Okay. I played knight a5, which is a mistake. Rook c3, blunder. Queen a3. Wait, I had rook c1 immediately? I played knight c4. Let's see, so here. Oh, knight c4 now with the same idea. You just reverse the move order. I played knight c4, and then when my opponent took, it's over. Knight g4. Yeah. Okay. So 2 mistakes. That's good. I only got 4 points. I always, like, when I win almost nothing. Okay, I'm still happy. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.